we're back, part whatever it is. Let's get this roof finished. Well guys, you've done all the work, let's now start putting it all together. So, we have now reached the point where we can start putting this pop top all together. So, before I actually go any further, the first thing I'm going to do is this rubber seal that goes all the way around the edge of this top. I'm going to attempt to put that in first. So what I'm doing is I'm going to just basically start on one edge here and then just work my way all the way around and yeah, just see if I can figure out an easy way to put it in. I've been looking online and I haven't been able to actually find any videos on how anybody's installed this. So in fact there really isn't a lot of stuff out there on the Devon top to begin with. So anyway, let me get the seal around here in a seat, and I'm basically just, like I say, I'm going to just start and just work my way around. I think what I'll probably end up doing is soaking it down with soapy water and then seeing if it'll just press in with a plastic trim tool. So that's my first attempt anyway. Okay, this seems to be working. Basically I'm hooking the front edge of the seal under the lip and I'm just going in behind here. If I can actually find, there we go. So I'm just actually going in behind here with a plastic trim tool and just pressing it in. So I think that's going to work. So I'm going to just basically work my way around, probably give you updates as I go around, but yeah, I mean that's the technique I'm using, and for the first inch or so it seems to have worked. Well, I'd like to say this is going quickly, but it's not. I've been on with us about 40 minutes now and I've gone from there to here. This is, yeah, I think if it had been a warmer day where this rubber was a little bit warmer, that might have helped, but it's not, so yeah, I'm just battling away with it there. Okay, so I'm into this now for give or take about an hour. And that's roughly where I'm at, and I'm having to break my friggin' hand just gripping this plastic tool. Is yeah, yeah, this is going to take a long time. I did try a couple of metal tools. I do have some metal trim tools, but they're just too hard on the rubber. They instantly split the rubber. Yeah, I don't know any other way of doing this. I really don't. So anyway, I'm going to have 10 minutes, have a cup of coffee or something, and then we'll get back to it. Oh, I eventually made it to this corner, but I can absolutely say one thing for certain. I never ever want to do this again. My hand is just absolutely trashed. Yeah, this first part, which I thought would take maybe an hour or two, yeah. I'm sure there must be a proper tool for doing this. You know, it's when they originally made these at the factory, I can't imagine somebody sat like this for, you know, almost an entire day just putting this rubber seal in. So there's got to be a proper tool for doing this. I just don't know what it is, and I've looked around online, and I just can't find anything that looks like it would be suitable. You know, it's so yeah, I'm just me and my plastic tool here, working away. So yeah, like I say, let's just see how far along here I can get before it gets dark and then call it quits for the night. Well, it's done. Good grief, I never want to do another one of these again. Holy crap. But where the joiners, here I am going to put some glue on there. But first thing I'm going to do is give it a good wash down, because I've got a lot of soap on it and everything, so I want this all nice and clean before I hit it with some adhesive. But yeah, I don't know how they did this at the factory originally, but this was traumatic. Like I said earlier, I'm assuming there was some sort of special tool for doing this. not plastic trim tools. But yeah, the other thing is as well is that when this was originally done, this would have been all nice new aluminum. There's little bits here and there where over the years it's not so much damage, but it's just uneven. And so there's been portions, especially the corners. The corners have been a nightmare to do. But yeah, so as I was saying, basically just getting one of the lips in and then going down the other side of it with this one and just pressing it in. Yeah, I'm not entirely sure what time it is now, but I know it's mid-afternoon and I've been out here all day other than a 30-minute break for lunch. So this rubber seal, I'm estimating I've got at least 5 or 6 hours, maybe 7 hours into getting this thing. So all I've been doing is just sitting here listening to podcasts. But anyway, it's done. I'm going to tidy the tools away, give it a wash, and then leave it to dry. Then I'll bond this area. Well, we've made it. We're finally here. Final assembly. So, a few things still to do. If you saw the last video, you know I did have a piece to make for there. I've got that. I'm going to put that in shortly. But then after that, it's fitting the canvases. So, I do need to give these another quick coating of paint. That won't take long, it'll dry quickly. Then I've got to remove these. And what we are going to do is I'm going to lay the canvases out on here because they do have to attach to this part of the roof first. So I'm going to lay the canvases out, and these strips here, they all have to be bonded to the canvases. Now that is how they were attached previously on the old concertina top, and I believe that's how they should go back on. So let's go grab the canvases. I'm going to lay them out. No, scrub that. Let's first of all get this second coat of paint put on all of this. Then I can give that 20-30 minutes to dry, by which time I'll have had the canvases sorted out, and then we can come back and then we can start assembling this correctly. Well, this is where it all begins, whether I find out or not if I've made good decisions with my measuring or I've made a horrendous mistake. Yeah, it's kind of nerve-wracking, but yeah, let's get it done. Let's find out. Okay, so we now got to centralize this, and that, once centralized, that will be bonded. So what I'm going to do is just take a couple of measurements from this edge here, and then yeah, I'll just fold that over, glue, fold it back, and we're good, in theory. Ideally it would be better if I could do it on the wooden panel there rather than doing it on the roof, but it's not the best days, to be honest, and I need this done. I need to be moving along with this. It's I just need to get it sorted, so at the very least if I can get it bonded today, then I can start assembling it tomorrow, but right now I need to get this done. Okay, as I did with when I was actually putting the canvas together, what I have done is just put a tape line down so I can get a nice line of adhesive, and then I'm just pressing this into it. I'll put some clamps along here, leave it for like 10-15 minutes, and I'm peeling this tape off first, so I don't want that to sit in case it ends up bonded to the, you know, I don't want any bits of blue tape stuck along the edge. So let me get this off and then we'll leave this to sit for a little while. Okay, I've still left these ones attached so that I can basically get it lined up and centralized. Now, one thing that I didn't really consider is that there's a little bit of stretch in this. So it has proven to be a little bit longer than my initial measurements, but all I'm going to do is I'm just moving these closer to the end, and I'm just going to drill them and fit them in place, and that should be pretty much okay. I'm not too concerned about that. I mean, it's the original one kind of came out here somewhere, so I'm okay with that. The other holes, what I'll do is I will go around and I'll plug them with a teaser before I put the top on, and then that's those holes covered, and it's not an issue. But it's yeah, I mean, it's going okay. It's obviously, like I've said before, this is the first time I've ever done anything like this, so there's yeah, you know, I'm expecting there to be little, I wouldn't say hiccups, but I need to be flexible with it. So at this point, I'm not concerned. I'm happy with how everything's going. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do this end first, and I'm going to take a measurement from this edge, get this lined up really nice, and then I'm going to probably start in the middle and just drill my way out and rivet this one on, and then I'll move to that end. I mean, you can see at this end here, it's about the same distance. So, but what I want to do is I'll get it centralized and then take it from there. So what I'll do is I'll get it centralized and then I'll take it from there. I mean, I'm not trying to do a YouTube channel where it's like, oh, look how wonderful this turned out. I mean, there's a slight issue in the length of it. I don't mind putting it out there. You know, it's how we learn. And then, yeah, hopefully, like I say, I hope this encourages other people to have a go at it. I really do. I mean, that's really the goal behind this is, you know, if I can do it, you can do it. You know, it's, yeah, anyway, let's get on. There we go. There's the first one riveted in. So, move the other side. Basically, just do the same thing. I'll pull it taut and then just go along and just, yeah, rivet it in there. It's I am excited. This is I won't deny, this is exciting to see this, you know, eventually all come together. Just realising something. I don't know if you can see this here, if it shows up on camera, but this is not cut straight. Yeah, it seems relatively straight to about there, then it goes in and comes out and goes back in again. Oh well, you know, I guess I figured the rubber seal was going to hide that, so, you know, it's not that big of an issue. Okay, now got this one bonded on. Obviously you can see where the line wasn't quite perfectly straight, but that's okay. Now, I'm not going to bond that one yet. I'm going to let this one dry, rivet it down, then do that one. Mainly because I want to juggle this around a little bit, just make sure everything's kind of where it should be, and then yeah, we'll figure it from there. But yeah, I don't want to do that one yet until this one's basically sorted. So we'll be back. Well, 3 sides done. I think once I get this other side complete, I am going to call it for today. It's getting on towards about 3:30. Just with it being cooler, bit of humidity in the air. The glue is taking a bit longer to dry, but you know, that's okay. It's you know, it's okay. I figured this might go into 2 days, so I'm okay with that. But let's get this other side laid out. Okay, last one glued, so let's go and sit for another 30 minutes. I'm hoping that it's not actually getting dark by the time I get this finished, but you know, it's just basically drill the holes, rivet it, stick it in the garage behind me. Yeah, so yeah, it's definitely going to be tomorrow. What I'll do is, it's supposed to be a moderately nice day, so I'll get this outside on the sawhorses, the forms. Then I'll be able to take this out and that and combine them with them over there, and that will be it, ready to go up there. This is still going to be the challenge. I yeah, this is going to be the challenge. My buddy's still away. I can't get anybody here to really give me a lift, so the basic thought is I won't put those on. What I'll do is I'll get that. Obviously, once this is all dry tomorrow, this will be covered with the fabric on the other side, but I'll get that and that connected together. I'll then get both of those up there, and what I'm thinking, given the way that I've done it this time, there's a lot less weight in this, so I'm going to ratchet strap it up to the top of the tent, and then I should be able to get those in relatively easy. That's the that's the concept. So we'll have to wait and see what happens with that. But anyway, let's just leave this to dry, and then we'll come back out and yeah, we'll get it finished off. It's getting dark. Looks lighter on the camera than it actually is. We're almost finished, and the battery's dying. So it's like drill a couple of holes, stick the battery on charge while I'm putting the rivets in. Yeah. Well, there we go then. That's it. We are all done for the night. So I'm going to give this a good sweep down because there's shavings here where I've been drilling. Because what I've done is I went in with slightly larger rivets than were originally in this. But yeah, because I don't know if I mentioned this, but some of the holes after they'd been drilled out were a little bit, not all of them, but some of them weren't quite round. They were a little bit chewed up, you know, here and there. So I decided let's just put a larger rivet in. Now we've got a nice new fresh hole. So anyway, that's it for tonight. We will come back to this tomorrow, and yes. It's morning. It's sunny, so we're getting on with it. Well, here we are. And what I'm going to do first though is go around just to the hammer and dolly and just make sure these are all nicely flattened off as best I can, because there's the odd one here and there. You can feel just a little bit of a, not a lip as such, but where we at, just that one there is sitting a little bit higher than I would like. So I'm going to just, like I say, get the hammer and dolly, go around them all. I've got the fabric sitting on the conservatory there, just keeping it warm, because it's not the warmest of days today. And I may have to actually warm the surface before I start putting the adhesive down and everything, because it's chilly. Let's just tuck that under there. But anyway, let's dolly all of these first, and then we'll take it from there. Well, we've got it laid out here. I have actually just been warming the metal up a little bit, but basically what I'm going to do is just get this lined up, which is pretty much lined up there now, but yeah, I'll get it lined up. I'm going to fold it in half, spray one half with the adhesive, spray one half of the fabric with the adhesive, fold it over, get a little bit of heat on it, get that all nicely flattened down. Then I'm going to do the same with the other side, and then I'll go around and trim all these edges, because I do want a little bit of overlay to go around there. But it is going to look great this time. I'm very happy with it. Corners are going to be the more difficult bit, the edges. But we'll get it figured, we'll figure it out. So let's get on with it. So clamped it down there. I have got it nicely lined up now. I just don't want this moving. I mean, I do have a good bit of leeway. I mean, I've got a couple of inches there, there's a couple of inches down there, and these sides, you know, there's a good 5-6 inches on each side. So there's plenty of leeway, but it does actually have a grain in it, and I doubt it shows up on camera, but I want the grain parallel. I mean, it's very fine. You're going to have to get right up to it to see it, but I want, you know, details and all of that. But right, I'm going to fold this over halfway, and then all of these rivet heads I'm actually going to go around with the adhesive and just place some adhesive on there to begin with, and then we'll spray it down, fold it over, and you know the drill. Okay, So I've got that all glued. This is all glued. I just got to give it a moment or two, and then we'll flip it over. And got a hot air gun there. Then I'll carefully go over it, warm everything up, and that'll help the glue seat again. And then we'll do the same again and give it half an hour. I've got the rubber seal in the conservatory there just warming up so that it just makes it a little more supple. And once we get that warmed up, yeah, we'll start putting it all together. But yeah, it's working okay. I mean, there's not a lot to say about it. But yeah, it's mid-morning now, so I would like to have this to the point where I can put it on the van tomorrow. Or even today, depending how quickly it goes. But the goal is to get this covering on and to get the outer frame and everything on, and then yeah, take it from there. Well, that's the first half done. So I'll get this. I'll just give that a few minutes, and then I'll flip this side over, this front edge, flip that back, and we'll do the same again. Okay, there we go. That's it all done. Now. I'm going to leave it a good 20-30 minutes, maybe a little bit longer. I'm going to go and have some lunch, and then we'll come back, and then we'll start. These edges are okay, there's enough material there, but it will be taken round and bonded on the underside. So, but these edges here, obviously they're too long, so I'll have to trim them. Same down that side. But yeah, it went down quite nicely. It wasn't too bad. Helps that I'm tall and I've got long arms, I'll be honest. Because I could just like basically get an arm over here, hold it, walk around to this side, and then just lower it down. So that did help. I mean, if you've got somebody that could help when laying it down, that's probably a good idea. But if not, hopefully you've got long arms like me. Anyway, I'm going to have some lunch and we'll come back to this in a little while. So, I've given this a good 30-40 minutes and everything's nicely tacking up there. So, I think what I'm going to do is, I think I'm going to flip it over. And then it should be easier to trim these edges and then fold it over. This section here, where's that? Just there, where the skylight goes, I think I'm actually going to leave that. I'm not going to cut that out until it's on the roof. Until it's actually mounted on the van. And then I've got no loose edges of anything around here to catch when I'm trying to get it loaded, put on top. So yeah, I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to flip it over and then I can work on these sides. And then just go around, glue them all, and then call it good. Then we'll get into, where have I put the frame? Oh, it's over there. Just there. The outer frame, we'll get that put on and then we'll take it from there, see where we get to today. It's about 1ish now, so I've got probably 3.5, 4 hours of good daylight. Like I said, I'd like to get it to the point where it's in that frame. That's the goal for today. Then we'll figure out getting it mounted on top of the van tomorrow. But let's get it flipped anyway. Okay, I've got it flipped over there, and actually these strips that hold it down onto the roof will actually make a good little edge to cut along. But that's, I don't know how, yesterday when I was talking about where you could see this roof wasn't cut straight, that's what I mean. That is butted up against the edge of it, and then when you get down to this edge, somebody went off a little bit. Oh well, like I said, they probably took the attitude that there's going to be a rubber seal on there, so you're not going to see it. But yeah, I'll just zip down here, do the same on the other side, and then we'll just start folding over and gluing. Okay, it's cut. Yeah, I know it's a bit off there, but that's okay. I'll trim that in a minute. But yeah, I've got an edge down there, so I'm just going to fold it over. But just looking, this box of brushes that I bought for, how many was there again? 50. Is it 50? Yeah, 50. I'm getting down them, but they have worked really, really well with this adhesive. Although one thing I'm having to do now is, because it's way down in the can and they don't actually fit, so what I'm doing is I'm taping two together like that. Yeah, you didn't know it was going to be lots and crafts today, did you? But yeah, tape them together, then use one end, and then usually by the time I'm working on the other side of the canvas, that one's gone hard, so I need to use the other end. But it works, you know, it works. I'm not pointing the camera too. Okay, so we've got that end, it's all bonded down there. I've just sat the glue on here now, just giving a moment or two to tack up. This end I can do without trimming. That bottom end needs to be trimmed, but but before I do that, I'm going to work these corners in. So, but we'll get this length done first, and then we'll work the corners. Okay, if you can hear me over the jets, that's this side now complete. I might put a little bit more adhesive on these little bits that are sticking up, but I'm just going to let what's there dry for the time being, and I'll come back to that later. Now we've just got that far end to do, and then ready to put the rubber seal on. I'm not entirely sure yet whether I'm going to put the seal on with it this way up, or if I'm going to flip it over. I don't know. I'm going to play around with it, but yeah, we'll get that other side done first though. And there we go. I'm bonded all the way around. So I'm going to give this about 20 minutes or so, just to make sure it's nice and stuck. You know, again, I've said it multiple times with this adhesive, it takes 24 hours, but for bonding this down here, it's fine. All I'm going to be doing is slipping the seal over the edge of it. So yeah, but yeah, let's just give this a little while. We'll grab the seal and then we will begin putting it on. Now, one thing I am doing, obviously it's a split seal, so because, well, that's where the vent is. This is the back of the actual roof. This will be the back of the van, the rear. I'll put the seam here, so that's all one solid piece going all the way around there, coming back, and then I'll glue the two ends together. That way, if there is any chance of water seepage or anything like that, it's minimized because it's at the rear of the van. So